She's in scrolls and hymns and epitaphs and storytellers tell of her, and she's been called the triple moon goddess, maiden, mother, crone, 3 stages of a woman's life, queen of the crossroads, queen of the witches and witchcraft, patron of women, the great mother, mother of all signs, mother of witches, mother of souls, mother of world souls, the dark mother, soul of the world, Artemis, Selene, Hekate, dark moon goddess, goddess of the crossroads, mistress of magic, walker between worlds, shaman, wise woman, queen, savior, world soul, and over 100 other names. She was the daughter of the Titan god of destruction, Perseus, and her mother is Astrea. She was the only Titan to retain her counsel under Zeus's reign, and you alluded to that earlier. So her powers transcended the boundaries of the sky, the earth, and the seas, and the underworld, and that was out of Hesiod's Theogony. You kind of alluded to some of that as well. This ties her to the zodiac signs of Cancer, the mother archetype, and also to Scorpio. We have the underworld represented here through Pluto, god of the underworld, Hades, and the duality of humanity, which is exactly what you were just talking about. This is the psyche, the 8th house, the shadows, the house of transmutation, the house of transformation, the house of transcendence, so we can go up and out into the 9th. It's the shadow work that needs to be done. It is the cutting of the cords, the cutting of the umbilical cords to things that no longer serve us. It's growth, maturity, healing, deep, deep healing from traumas, especially the dark, dark things. That which is in urgent need of light, where our magic resides. Rumi said, the wound is where your light is. Yes, he did say this. She's an intercessor for children, especially protector of the oppressed, the poor, the hurting. You can see her in stories where she comes through as any one of those types of expressions. I also had the Chaldean oracles, the Enemu Mundi. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but she shows up there, and she's often pictured with 3 heads looking in 3 different directions, for past, present, and the future. Her symbols are keys, and she owns the ultimate skeleton key, the key that is said to unlock any of the realms. So I find that fascinating. I have in my journal as proof when I was microdosing and working with plant medicine, who Hekate is very much involved with. And I was just journaling and expressing and working my way through things. And I wrote and drew one day in my journal, look for the keys. Find the keys that open the doors. Find the keys that open the sacred doors that you need to walk through. Find the keys. And I didn't know what that meant. This was years ago. And then I find out that I was born with a 26-degree Hekate sun and a 26-degree Cancer sun in the 9th house. That's powerful, and it's a responsibility. Anyone, I think, who's born with her that close to your sun or your ascendant or your moon, check your charts, because she wants to express herself in a little bit of a different way, and there's also different challenges with that. And before I go further, I want to say, Anthony, your Hekate is in your 3rd house in Virgo. So what you just did this evening represents a Hekate 3rd house. Let's start with the house that you were visiting, which we must, because you're not home. You're visiting. Hekate is Scorpio, 8th house or 4th house. Either place there, she's pretty comfortable. But she's in the 3rd house of Gemini. Gemini is mutable air energy. She's a talker. Gemini's back and forth talk. Right now, across the state borders, that's Gemini. Further distance would be the 9th house. But this is the teacher every day in the classroom teaching, the talking, the communication between family and friends. Short distance travels. So we're not too far from each other. That's considered a short distance. Now, what else do you have in that house? You have her conjunct a Virgo Venus in your third house. So there's a mission there, 1 degree, 2 degree. That's definitely something that we can talk off grid, but there's something there to be seen. She's active through Venus communication. Venus ties to what? Taurus, 2nd house, and Libra, 7th house. So she's going to have those expressions of concern. And in the 3rd house in Virgo, she's going to have that as her container. She's not going to come through as a Gemini, but what you have going for you there, Gemini, her Lord is, his Lord, rather, it's masculine energy, is Mercury. And Virgo's planet is Mercury, correct? And Mercury is in the 3rd house in Virgo. Close analytical study and look in a Virgoic way of the themes that you have going on in the 3rd house. And your part of Fortune is there, which we haven't even talked about ever. And Hekate is there with Venus. So yeah, you definitely are doing what this podcast is right now. This is day-to-day communications. It's right there. That's pretty exciting to see that.
So why do I bring up the darkest part of Hekate, and that part of her has essentially been demonized, turned into a demon queen? Well, that's because I just wanted to have the discussion about dark and light and good and evil, because it is silly to kind of view the world through the lens of good and evil. Really, it's all perception. I mean, how can Hekate be a protector of women and children and the defenseless if she has no means of protecting them? I mean, most people understand that, bears aren't evil, but if you are being mauled by a bear, and a bear is doing everything it can to eat you alive, for all your intensive purposes, practically to you, yes, that bear is a demon in that moment. But step outside of yourself and look at things objectively. Who understand things aren't mad at the bear. They don't think the bear is morally wrong in eating its prey alive. It's killing and all that. It's just doing what bears do, and it has a place. Bears serve a function in nature, and that's what many of the darker sides of these gods and goddesses, and what some call demons and all that. I don't think dark equals evil and light equals good. I mean, too much light is a bad thing. Too much well-being is a bad thing. The well-being makes you stagnant. Well-being doesn't force you to grow. I mean, the darkness is where all the growth happens. I mean, challenges aren't all love and light, but, challenges are what forces you to evolve. Too much light is a bad thing. Not enough darkness is a bad thing. You need balance.
Well said.